So welcome to another Tokyo Revengers video guys. And yeah, today we're going to discuss some of the other insane chapters from the spin-off. And I know, so many people are caught up to date with this series. So in this video, I will talk about 2 chapters. So that I can cover the newly released chapter immediately as soon as they are released. I also read the recent chapters, and I have to say that, if you're up to some amazing storyline and crazy character writing with depth, then stay tuned for more chapter reviews like this. Honestly, I'm impressed how they are giving more importance to Ryusei's character at this moment. Even though it's a character that didn't get featured in the main series. However, these upcoming chapters are going to be so cool. So, before we talk about that, as usual guys, I would kindly appreciate it if you can drop a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel. Let's go into the video now. So in the previous chapter, we saw that some gang members came to Baji's school to attack him because they wanted to destroy Toman. Then Chifuyu saw them and wanted to warn Baji. But if Baji gets involved in these gang stuffs, he'll get expelled from the school. So Chifuyu wants to handle this situation alone. Now the chapter starts with Chifuyu becoming nervous about this ambush since so many members came to the school. And he can't handle them alone. And as usually, Ryusei was sleeping in the rooftop of the school. He saw the whole thing and he asked Chifuyu why he looked so sad. While he explained the situation to Ryusei, so many members already started to enter the school. Chifuyu suddenly ran real fast to stop them at the door itself. We can also see how much he is concerned about Baji and how he wants to support him all the time. He even went to confront so many gang members all alone for Baji's sake. Which really proves how mentally strong Chifuyu is. However, that gang didn't not only beat the school professors, they even tried to beat up the school students. But Chifuyu comes real quick to save them as their life savior. Since they didn't show any mercy to people. Chifuyu introduced himself to them as the first division member of Toman. And he wasn't even scared of them, had not a single speck of fear in himself, even though the Killer Bee gang were bigger in number. While he started to fight them, some gang members already entered the classrooms. And after searching, at last found where Baji was. And they were shocked by Baji's look. Since he does not look like a Toman captain, or delinquent, or whatsoever of that sort. But the gang members, thinking they can beat Baji, attacked him, and when Baji tried to fight back against them, he suddenly remembered about his mom. Because he was studying so hard, and therefore did not want to make her sad. So because of this, instead of fighting back, Baji decides to protect himself from attacks. And this resulted in the breakage of the bone of his arm. Baji's sole purpose was that he did not want to cause problems inside the school campus. But Baji was already surrounded by most of the members. So someone from the gang suddenly came from behind and attacked Baji with a bat, directly hitting his head. This series is seriously so brutal in some ways. Anyway, they didn't come to beat him to death. They just came to kill Baji in the school. So to finish him for once and for all and get their job done, they tried to attack him on his head once again. But this time Ryusei came to save Baji. Baji was heavily injured. And both him and Ryusei couldn't escape from them because they were surrounded in most of the places. Ryusei can't handle all the members at once, so he wanted Baji to go to the rooftop as soon as possible. That's when we saw this crazy scene. Chifuyu literally came to save them. First, Chifuyu was fighting with so many members. But when Ryusei opened the window to see what happened to them, he saw Chifuyu beat all the members of the gang. This drawing and the action scene was so good. Since Ryusei and Chifuyu are strong enough to defeat them, they can't go near Baji to finish him off. Because that's why they came to school, even though it's a violent activity. But even though both kept fighting, at one point, so many members started to enter the school and ended up surrounding them in the rooftop. Baji and Ryusei and Chifuyu, all of them were exhausted and injured. Finally, the rival gang's captain revealed the truth. Why they decided to attack Baji in the school. Because only few of the people know his true identity and about the secret that he can't fight inside the school because Baji is strong enough to defeat them. That guy didn't tell them who told him this secret. But he told them why he wants to crush Baji and Toman. It's because he planned to join another gang. And for that, he requires to bring Baji down. And that gang's name is Utsuya Kaden. The moment Ryusei hears the name of that gang, he went into a beast mode. His punch literally broke off the mask of that gang leader. He didn't stop with that, he almost pushed him down the rooftop of the school. That gang leader who had an arrogant look on his face, he became so scared after this. But Ryusei didn't show any mercy to him. But Chifuyu somehow managed to save that guy from falling down. And Ryusei's face was filled with so much rage and anger, as if he had some past connection with him, which went sour. After this, Baji slaps him and says to him to snap out of it. Cause he almost killed him. Every gang member became so shocked and had chills run down their spine. And they started to get afraid of Ryusei. But Chifuyu starts to wonder, what's the connection between Utsuya Kaden gang and Ryusei? There's something fishy about him. After this, including Baji, Chifuyu and Ryusei also got scolded by their teachers for the nuisance they caused, as it created a huge panic in school. Because so many members entered school just to kill someone, which is crazy. But fortunately, all of the students didn't get injured during their ambush, other than those 3 of them. Basically, Chifuyu also did not care about lectures. Because he always considered his teachers as idiots. But this time it's different. They successfully hide the true identity of the Baji and make them realize that Baji had nothing to do with this incident. But Chifuyu and Ryusei got suspended from their school for 1 week. However, Chifuyu didn't feel bad about it because he was happy about he fight as he could be a part of Toman and to protect Baji. Then once again Toman First Division meeting was held in the night. All of the members attended, including Ryusei too. Even though he always ignored this kind of stuff. Baji announced that Ryusei and Chifuyu brought down Killer B. Everyone was happy about it, but all of them only praised Ryusei. Since he is the vice captain, and they know how strong he is. Even though some people appreciate Chifuyu for what he did. Some of them thought it was Ryusei who handled most of the things. After all, Chifuyu is the only one who didn't wear a Toman uniform. So still they treat him like an outsider. But Chifuyu was so envious of the other gang members because of their uniforms. Before they end the meeting, Baji asks Ryusei if he wants to tell anything about this incident, since they need to be cautious about the opposite gang. But Ryusei didn't listen Baji at all. He was lost in thinking about something else. Chifuyu starts to wonder about Ryusei's weirdness. Ever since that incident happened, Ryusei didn't act normal. Especially after hearing that gang's name. Then he remembered something about what Baji told him that day. Chifuyu literally is confused and has trouble understanding the whole situation. Why Ryusei becomes so angry and what's his connection with Utsuya Kaden gang. Baji says something important, and these lines could be applied in our real lives too. I hope everyone can find it relatable. He said, there is connection between the gang and Ryusei in the past. And sometimes we think we're doing the right thing, but actually we're not. Because sometimes good intentions lead to the worst possible outcome. So that's his burden to bear. Which is a really good scene, and Ryusei's character keeps getting interesting. But during the meeting, Baji only talked about the Killer Bee gang, and not the gang they mentioned. Which is Utsuya Kaden. So they didn't reveal everything about Ryusei's mysterious past. Chifuyu also did not want to pry on his past. When Chifuyu wants to talk to Ryusei, as usual he ignored him, which made him pissed off. When he tried to stop him, Chifuyu accidentally tore the shoulder button of Ryusei's uniform. And it made some of the gang members angry, since it's their symbol of their team's ideology. The gang's uniform was something important that showed their identity to others. Even in the main series, we saw how much Takemichi was hesitant to wear Mikey's uniform at first. However, the next day Chifuyu wanted to meet Ryusei. But he couldn't find him anywhere, including the rooftop of the school. It's so funny that, even though Ryusei didn't care about anything, Chifuyu was so curious about his past that made him go this crazy. While they were arguing in the school, Baji entered and asked them to meet him after school got over. However, Chifuyu and Ryusei didn't get along well, and we all know that. So when Chifuyu asked him why Baji called both of them, Ryusei casually says maybe Baji wants to change their vice captain after seeing how well Chifuyu was good at fighting. But it made Chifuyu very angry and he hit his face very hard. That moment Baji was also present. And he was shocked to see that because he had already warned Chifuyu and told him domestic fights are forbidden in gangs. Without holding back, Ryusei also starts to fight with Chifuyu. At first Ryusei considered him as a strong person. And now, Chifuyu thinks that he is the best person ever he fought. Chifuyu don't want to lose to him, and on seeing this fight, it made me think that both Chifuyu and Ryusei are same strength-wise. Like usual, the action scenes are really well illustrated. Chifuyu knows that Ryusei was worried about something regarding his past. But he wants him to focus on the future as 1st Division Vice Captain and leave his past behind him. Chifuyu wants to join him so that they both can't be defeated by Yatsaya gang ever. And Baji saw everything. And his words relieved Ryusei a bit. And once again, he starts to make fun of Chifuyu as usual. After this, Baji comes to give advice to both of them. Since he saw everything about why Chifuyu started to fight with him, he understood his intentions. Then Baji gives a new uniform to Ryusei since his old uniform got wrecked and his buttons fell off. While Chifuyu got jealous of him, Baji gives a new uniform to Chifuyu too. Since he helped Baji during the Killer Bee gang ambush. Everyone in the 1st Division will accept him as a member. This is the first time we're seeing Chifuyu in the Toman uniform. After receiving his own uniform, Chifuyu got so emotional and he started to cry. Because he wanted to wear this for the longest time possible. Finally he got what he wanted. It's only because of his hard work and sincerity. This was so good. We literally get to know more about his character. The writing of this series is pretty good. To be honest, as it sits quite well with the original series. And of course, more importantly, they explain some really cool things which we didn't get to see in the main series. It's really worth to give it a shot and read it. So to find out what'll happen after this, stay tuned for my next video. If you want to add something, please let's discuss it in the comment section. Anyway, if you guys like this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. And good luck to all.